Okay, so we're going to start to wrap up this texture project. Um, you should have 3 panels done already. You should have the original one, the black and white one, and your painted or digital one. Since we're not going to be able to meet, we're going to create a digital presentation here in Adobe Illustrator. I had made a 7.5 inch by 7.5 inch page in Adobe Illustrator, and I had placed 4 2.5 inch image boxes on here. So I'm going to show you how to make this right now. So first thing you want to do is launch Adobe InDesign. Remember your Ramapo email and password will get you into Adobe CC to do this. Alright, so the first thing we want to do is we want to make a new document. So I'm going to go to File, New, and then Document. We're going to get a new document query box here. And you can see it looks like the ones that we use, especially in Adobe Illustrator. I'm going to change this unit over here, unit of measure, into inches. And I'm going to make a new 7.5 inch by a 7.5 inch artboard here. I only want one page. I'm going to click off facing pages. And on the margins, I'm actually just going to put 1 inch around all sides. I'm going to click Create. So you're going to have a blank page of what we want to make here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my window here, and if you don't have any instruction panel here, go to Window, Workspace, and Digital Publishing. We're going to need some of these functions here that are on the top. Right? And it's going to open up some palettes for us as well. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a square, and I'm going to cover my entire page. This square I'm going to make black. I'm going to actually make sure that my fill box here is selected and click black. I'm going to have a black page here. I'm also going to make a secondary square here. I'm going to hold my shift key. I'm going to hold the fill again. I'm going to make this white. So these are going to be the boxes in which our patterns are going to go into. I just want to change the size of this. I just drew it really quickly, and it's 2.3 inches. I'm actually really close to 2.5 inches, so I'm just going to make it 2.5 inches in the width here and 2.5 inches in the height. So now I have a box that's 2.5 inches square. If I hold my Option key and click and drag on my object, I'm going to make a copy of it. You can see that by just holding the Option key, clicking and dragging your square, you'll make 4 boxes to hold our pattern textures in. So we should only have 3 of these done, but I'm going to show you how to import them to get this started. So I'm going to select my first top box here, and I'm just going to hit Command D, which means Get Picture. I had saved 3 of these previously. I had saved 3 textures that I downloaded off the internet. So I'm going to do Command D, and I'm just going to navigate to wherever I saved my images. You're going to actually take pictures of yours and save them on a desktop folder here. I have made a folder here for our class and our project, and here I have 3 individual images here that represent our panels, and here is actually the name of our document that we're going to print next week. So the first one I'm going to do is wood background, and I'm going to click on Open, and you'll see that it places that in the box for me. I'm going to move over to the second one. I'm going to do Command D as well, and I'm going to get the drawn version of this that I've gotten. So I'm going to click Open again. You can see I have a drawn version of wood pattern. Finally, I had saved a painted version of this. This is called Maple Eye here. So I saved this version of it. I'm going to click on Open, and it's going to place it in here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit, and if you click on your direct selection tool, which is your gray arrow here, click on your image and hold it, you can see how big your image is. My image here is massive, but I can actually move it within my image box. Once you hit your direct selection tool, you'll notice that you can activate the percentage of how big you can make this. This is the third panels here. I'm going to actually just make this 20% of the original size, and you'll see that it will shrink it down. So I can have a, or I can click on that and get it to shrink in 1% increments. I'm also going to flip it here with this rotate tool. So now I have 3 of the examples of what your project will look like. Many of you did something other than wood, so you'll have your original pattern here. You'll take a picture of it. You'll have your black and white sketch or ink version of it. You're going to take a picture of it and place it here. You're going to have your painted or digital version. You're going to place it here. And due next week is going to be the 3-dimensional version, which will go in this panel here. I'm going to save this. I'm going to name this pattern.2, and I'm actually going to put it in my folder that I have my pattern project in. Now, in the very end, next week, when we're ready to submit this, you guys are actually going to send me a version of just 3 this week. You're going to go into File. We're going to make an Adobe PDF. So you want to go to File, Adobe PDF Presets. Right now you can pick the smallest file size. It won't be a super high-res version. So you see that it names it Pattern 2. I'm going to click on Save. The one thing I want to do is I'm going to view it after I export it. So I'm going to click on View and then Export. This is, and when you get this warning box, just click OK. And what it will do now is it will generate a PDF, open up Adobe Acrobat for you, and show it to you. So this is the version that you're going to be sending me. All right. You can see that it's a little grainy. That's absolutely okay for me to proof and see what you guys are up to. So that is going to be our homework for this week. All right.